you guys, it's Carletta from Body Candy, and today I will be doing a tutorial on how I make my fizzy bath bomb donuts. Now, if anybody isn't familiar with bath fizzies or bath donuts period, you are in the right place today, because today I am not only going to show you how to make one, I'm going to give you a little demo on what exactly happens when you use one in your bath. So let's get started here. Basically, if you watch my previous video on some of the molds that I use to make some of my bath bombs, you will notice that here I have my Wilton's donut mold, which I talk about in my previous video, and pricing and all that other good stuff. So I won't bore you guys with that, because if you want to, you know, any information about that is on my other video that way. So basically, I already got my powders mixed together. This is 2 cups of baking soda, 1 cup of citric acid, and I have a little under 4 ounces of powdered cornstarch. And I added about maybe 4 ounces of Epsom salt, because I want this to be really relaxing and good for, you know, sore muscles and all of that. I'm using, what is this, black raspberry oil, well, fragrance oil, to make this smell really yummy. And I'm gonna tell you, this black raspberry is my best seller. Even when I use it in some of my body butter, they always request it. It was one of their first scents that I actually made my whipped body butter in, and everybody was like, I need that one, the one that has that fruity kind of scent. And I was like, black raspberry? And they was like, yeah, I think that's it. And I was like, okay. So that's pretty much one of my best sellers. So like I said, I have my mix here, so we can get on started here. I have my water bottle with my water in here, and I'm going to start to spritz maybe about 3 or 4 spritz of water to get the process started. Now, when you're making bath bomb donuts, they're pretty easy. They're the easiest ones, if you ask me. They mold really well, and they dry really quickly, so you can pop them in the freezer, and they, you know, they still hold their shape, and it doesn't get all the warts and stuff on them. Like, they are really great. I really enjoy using this mold. Also, before I forget, I used about maybe a handful of Slsa. And I say handful because I literally just went in and grabbed some, like a handful, sifted in my sifter inside of the mix, because I did want it to have some bubble action, but not too much, just a little bit. So about, you know, a nice handful, or maybe, I want to say about maybe 3 teaspoons if you guys want to do a measurement, because Slsa goes a long way, believe me. Here. So I'm getting my mix together here. Let me back this stuff up. You guys can see. So I'm mixing it all together, and it smells really good. You don't need it to be too harsh, or, well, maybe I should say hard, as far as the, you know, the consistency, because the way the donuts mold, you don't need all of that. And for me, when I'm done molding them, I pop them right in the freezer. It makes them rock hard for, like, I mean, I guess I put them in there for like maybe 5 minutes, if that, and before you know it, they are solid as a rock. And that's how I need them, so that I'm able to go ahead and start my next batch, because I only have 1 of these, and I need to get maybe 2 more. But I like to make them, you know, 6 at a time, so that I'm not over exhausting myself trying to make so many. But in the meantime, this is what I do. And my mix is getting nice and firm, but not too firm. Like if you were using, you know, if you want to make the sphere mixture, you will want them a little bit more firmer than that. You will want your mix a little bit more firmer, but this is good enough for me. And that's basically it. So Next, I take my pan and I start adding in some of my mixture to the tray. And this pink is really, really pretty. So I don't exactly know what I'm going to call this one yet, but I do know that I plan on making them into like a double-decker bath bomb, which means I will have both of these donuts put together with the frosting in the middle, which will be the bubble frosting, and then I will also be frosting the top of that, which is going to be loads of fun. So you guys can see I'm getting it in there, pressing it down, making sure I don't cover the circle part. Try not to make too much of a mess. But you know, if you've done any bath bombs or anything like that, working with these powders, that can sometimes, you know, be a struggle not to be messy. But I'm kind of not in the mood to clean up any extra mess today, so less is better in this, you know, in this project here. I just don't feel like it today. It's been a long day, it's super hot, and I just want to, you know, keep everything right in my sight so I can clean it up right there. No fuss, no mess. So, as you can see, I am getting my mix inside of the cavities here. And it smells so good. It smells like strawberries. Ugh. Even though it's raspberry, it smells more like a strawberry kind of scent. It could be the oil that I used. And I forgot, you guys. And I also used grape seed oil to scent my my bath fizzies here. That's the oil that I used. I forgot, which is really good. It's really, really good. So you have grape seed oil, and I used about 2 teaspoons of that in the mix. And you have 4 ounces of Epsom salt, 2 cups of baking soda, and 1 cup of citric acid, a little under 4 ounces of Slsa, and boom, there you have it. And I have my scented oil, which, you know, you can go by ear when it comes to that. And when I mean go by ear, you have to excuse me, that's just a lingo that I use. But pretty much you just go by scent. Like, if you want your bath bomb to smell more strong, you put it in. If you don't, add in a few drops, smell it, and you go from there. Basically, that's it. So we're going to start the next one. Put this in here. And then you just keep on adding like so. And then you start pressing it down, making sure you do this little circle thing around your donut, because you want to make sure that that's not covered up, unless you plan to have them covered, because you can actually make them that way. They are really cute that way. I've seen a lot of people do that, and I'm also maybe thinking of doing that to some of my donuts in the future, you know, when I figure out a good style for them. So you just press it in and making sure that you get it all around the little circle part in the middle. And basically it's kind of foolproof. Like, you cannot really mess up when you're making these. Like, if you mess this up, then you got to go all the way back to square one with just your bath bomb making, as far as your mixture. But once you get your mixture down pat, this is like a foolproof recipe, because the pan allows you a lot of room to mold, and it picks up a lot of the cavity shape. Like, it really looks like a donut when you're done. Like, once you get them out the mold and everything, it's perfect. It looks just like a real donut. You don't have any problem with that. But if you have trouble with it, because everybody, you know, maybe, you know, is not as advanced in making the donut bath bomb, because I didn't always know how myself. But once your mixture is in properly and it's pushed in, it's pretty easy. It's not hard. Not that hard to do. But I've had donuts that I've made that I took out, and I was shocked to see that it was a crack in in them. I couldn't, and it was like in all 6 of them. I was like, wait a minute, how does that even happen? This never ever happens. But guess what? It happened to me. So if your mixture isn't together right, then it can mess up. And I've done a lot of these, and I think that was like the only time that has happens to me, because after then I was like, oh heck no, because at that time I was really on a budget. Like, I'm on a budget now, but that time I was really on a budget, and I was like, oh my god, I wasted all of that product and they cracked, and that wasn't good. So you got to make sure that you just pay attention to your recipe for, you know, beginners. But for those of us who, you know, are, you know, pretty much used to making this recipe, you know what you need to do, and it'll work out fine. So basically, I'm filling it up and clearing out my circle and filling it in. Now, I did see somewhere on Instagram that people are making these donuts by hand, but they're just using it, I mean, they're using the bubble bar recipe. And if you're not familiar with that, there's a ton of them on here, on YouTube rather, and online there's a bunch of them. And they are actually, twisting the donuts like a real donut maker, which I think is absolutely fabulous. I am nowhere close to a donut maker. Like, if it doesn't come in the mold, you are not going to catch me doing any, you know, flips and tricks trying to make it look like a real donut. But that's, and I'm gonna put a little bit more in here because I see some of the cavity is still exposed. Which, another thing with these, you can add it in easily before your mix dry and just pat it in. But anyway, and I think that is amazing. I'm like, some of these, you know, bath bomb makers and bubble bar makers are like incredible. It's just amazing. Some of the things that I see and some of the creativity. This is me just dusting it off to clean it up. Some of their creativity is amazing. Like, sometimes my mouth drops, even though I know how to make a lot of things. Just me seeing some of these different bath bombs and things like that, I'm just like blown away. I can't believe my eyes. Sometimes I'm like, this is amazing. These people are really talented, and I love it. I really do. But as far as bubble bars, I'm not too sure about. I made bubble bars before, but they're not my favorite thing to make either. And, you know, but I get to it when I get to it, but it's not my favorite thing to make. I like everything quick, fast, and that's it. So, you guys, here are my bath bomb donuts, and like I said, they dry so fast. What the? Okay, guys, just act like you didn't hear that. They dry really fast, and they're really easy to make. And I wanted to show you guys, I was messing around earlier, and my frosting that I was trying to make was too watery and too thick, but I ended up making this here. If I can get a bit close up for you guys. And it's so funny, I don't even know. I'm gonna give it to my daughter, let her play with it in the tub. But what happened was, I was messing around and I was making you know, supposed to be making multicolored donut bath bombs, and I added too much oil and water to this mix in the middle here. And I said, well, forget it. You know how it is, you guys, when you mess up. So I said, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and stick this stuff together and smack both of these ends together. And funny, the frosting, I mean the bath bomb, got really hard, and I was able to stick these two together, and I was like, that's interesting. And it's not the prettiest bath bomb, but it's something that I would definitely, you know, look into. It is rock hard. I put it in the freezer for a bit, and I mean, it's like rock hard. And I made this like early this morning after I got off my first break for work. So I'm gonna, you know, let it sit or whatever. It smells pretty good, and see what happens. But you know, I don't, this is not a frosting that I use or anything, but I just thought the consistency of the frosting, let me see if I can get a better zoom in. My camera is so weird. I thought the consistency of the frosting was interesting because it actually stuck. But anywho, so basically that's it for these Bath Bomb donuts, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna pop these babies in the freezer for about 5 minutes and let them dry out. And once I do that, I'll be back to show my, well, actually, I'm going to take them out and then they have to sit overnight. So perhaps tomorrow I'll do another tutorial when we'll frost them and make decorations and all of that cool stuff. So you guys, until then, I'm going to clean up this mess. I have a little bit left over. And I guess I'll see you guys soon. Bye.